And welcome in live to Alumni Gymnasium, the home of the Bates College Bobcats, for some NESCAC women's basketball on this Sunday afternoon. My name is Aaron Morris, bringing you all the action in this rivalry matchup. It's the visiting Colby College Mules at 10-4 on the year, 2-0 in NESCAC play, versus the Bates College Bobcats, ranked 14th in the country by D3Hoops.com, 13-2 and 2-1 in conference play. These two teams did meet earlier this year. Bates won 61-50 at Colby on a non-conference game back on December 2nd, but this is the NESCAC game against the Mules, and Kate Olenek has returned to Colby at 15.8 points per game. She is an All-American and an outstanding player for the Mules, who have won 4 in a row. Bates coming off a tough loss at Bowdoin the other day, 62-49. We talked a little bit about that, and bouncing back with Allison Montgomery. Coach, obviously a tough game at Bowdoin, but you're back home here at Alumni Gym for another rivalry matchup. What was your message kind of to the team after the Bowdoin game to kind of reset going forward? Because obviously a lot of the season's still in front of you here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, obviously really disappointing showing in our last matchup, but I think that's the beautiful thing about competing in sports, right? Like, there's no other choice than to, take lessons learned to get better from a tough game, from a tough outing, and to just get excited for the next matchup. So I think, just trying to turn any of that disappointment around that failure into some good fuel, not only for this matchup today, but just as part of our journey moving forward.
Colby, always a tough team, especially on defense. What's the key to, beating them, basically, because their defense is, they hold teams to pretty low scoring totals?
Yeah, and we're coming off a game to another good defensive team, actually a stretch of them, and then NESCAC between like Amherst and Bowdoin. So yeah, I think we obviously want to manage pace like we do in most games, and so that's going to be important for us, is like finding that balance between like really pushing the ball and attacking to force them to guard us early. But then also, something I think we struggled with on Friday, which we need to improve today, is then just getting intentional offense after that, and getting, high percentage shots if we're not able to score in transition. I think another thing Colby does is they really collapse in the paint. We call it kind of a vortex, where a lot of bodies in the paint, and so we don't want to over dribble, and we want to keep the ball moving.
And it's nice to be back on campus with students actually here, right?
Yeah, we're excited. Hopefully, home games are always fun, and to have students back, over the winter break, we've kind of missed that element. So hopefully we can have a good sense of camaraderie in Alumni Gym today.
2-1, you win your 3-1, you lose your 2-2. So it's like, is it a kind of pivotal game in your mind, or no?
They're all pivotal.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's always that balance of, obviously athletics is outcome based, but we really try to not think about that. We're trying to think about process. We're trying to think about just playing a possession at a time, and trying to play well. We want to play well, and we want to feel like that trajectory is upward. So that's the hope for the bounce back. It's less focus on outcome. So it's a long season. Everybody we play is tough, particularly as we move into conference. So I think that can kind of, I think that's something that actually was not productive for us in our last matchup, was being sort of more focused on outcome than just being in the present and playing the game possession to possession. So trying to, play loose. And I think that, that outcome oriented mindset can really force you to be kind of tight and overvalue sort of every make or miss. So just trying to be process oriented, and sort of however that falls, we just want to play well and play together.
All right, biggest key to victory today over the Mules in terms of the, from the process perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just like our connectedness, coming together as a team and really focusing on us and who we are. I think sometimes, especially in conference, as teams well, in terms of there's this balance of being prepared and sort of thinking about what they were going to do and the challenges they were going to present, but also the balance of like, we just have to play our game and do us, and that's us collectively, and that's each of our players in terms of understanding what they bring. So I think that's a big intangible.
All right, that was head coach Allison Montgomery previewing the action here today at Alumni Gym. Bates is trying to break a little bit of an unfortunate trend against Colby. Remember, they played Colby twice during the season, a non-conference game and then a NESCAC game. The last 2 years, Bates has beaten Colby in the non-conference game and then lost to them in the NESCAC game. And so Bates wants to actually sweep the Mules this year and get a win in the NESCAC game. The last 4 games have been split. Prior to that, Bates had won 5 in a row against Colby. In general, they've dominated this series, winning 7 of the last 10. But recently, again, the Mules have won the NESCAC matchup. All right, Patrick Dexler, our PA announcer, is going to announce the starting lineups in the gym, and we'll go through them with you. First, starting with the visitors from Colby College. Chelsea Ibanebu is a 5'6" senior guard out of Staten Island, New York. She is one of the starters for the Mules, being introduced right now, making her 14th start of the year. Her 9th start of the year, her 14th appearance overall, averaging 4.3 points per game. Kate Olenek is the most dangerous player on this team, second leading scorer on the NESCAC, 5'8" junior from Medfield, Massachusetts, at 15.8 points per game. Amelia Hanscom is a 5'11" junior out of Andover, Massachusetts for the Mules, averaging 8.1 points per game. And Lydia Mardarski is a 5'8" senior from Mansfield, Massachusetts, number 21 there in blue, averaging 9.1 points per game, second leading scorer on the team. And then Anna von Rumer is a 5'10" junior out of Lexington, Massachusetts, number 25 there in blue, averaging 5.3 points per game this season. Colby, winners of 4 in a row. Their last loss was at Springfield back on January 2nd. Since then, they have beaten MIT, Connecticut College, Tufts, and Husson. And now the Bobcats being introduced down on the court, starting at guard. Sophie Spolter out of Blacklick, Ohio, averaging 9.5 points per game, third leading scorer on the team this year as a senior for Bates. Maya Hicks, a junior from Ann Arbor, has started every game this season, averaging 4.3 points per game. Sarah Hughes has come on really strong lately, had a big game against Bowdoin the other day, averaging 9.6 points per game, shooting nearly 50% from the floor. She is the second leading scorer on the team. Senior captain Ava James, averaging 5.6 points per game this year for Bates. And of course, the senior captain out of Hartwell, Maine, Elsa Delario, the leading scorer on the team at 13.7 points per game, leading rebounder at 7.7 rebounds per game, 33 assists, is tied for the team lead with Hughes as well. And of course, the all-time leading shot blocker in Bates College women's basketball history. Delario has 41 blocks this season for the Bobcats. Bates was on a 7-game winning streak before their loss at Bowdoin. We're going to pause here for the national anthem, come right back. All right, about ready to tip off this rivalry matchup. Bates and Colby, they've split the last 4 games. Again, they've played against each other. Bobcats winning most recently over the Mules, 61-50 on December 2nd in Waterville, a non-conference win for Bates. Last time Colby was here, the Bobcats won 66-63 in December 2024, although the Mules did beat them in February of 2024, the previous season, by 2 right here in Lewis. And besides that, Bates has been very, very good at home. If you look back to this history between these two teams, the Bobcats have had a lot of success. Since the turn of the century, they are 20-7 at home against Colby. All right, get ready to tip it off here. Ready for some Bates women's basketball. Looking again to increase that NESCAC record to 3-1. Alice Montgomery would not say it's a pivotal matchup. I would say it's a pretty pivotal matchup for the Bobcats, who are looking to secure a tiebreaker with Colby and give Colby their first NESCAC loss. Again, Colby 2-0 wins over Conn College and Tufts. All right, Delario and Hanscom to tip it off, and we are underway. The Mules very excited to win the tip as Ibanebu has the basketball for Colby, getting over into the left wing for Mardarski. Over to Hanscom, top of the key, right wing. Here is Olenek. the All-American, directing traffic here. Olenek dribbles to her left, top of the key for Ibenebu. Ibenebu driving on James. Spolter trying to take a charge, and she will! Sophie Spolter, if it's a day ending in Y, Sophie Spolter is going to take a charge. And it'll be Bobcat basketball, 9:38 to go in our first quarter of play. Ibenebu called for her first foul. Spolter brings it up for the Bobcats here, going right to left on your screen. The senior out of Blacklick, Ohio, dribbles to her left, now over to Hicks. Down low, they got Delario behind the defense. Layup, good for Elsa. Well-designed play to start this game for the Bobcats. Lead 2-0, 9:20 to go, first quarter. Ibenebu across the timeline for the Mules, guarded by Spolter. The senior out of Staten Island, looking to get it to Olenek. Ava James has the task of guarding Olenek. Delario going to help out. The bounce pass goes out of bounds. It's going to be Bobcat ball. Good defense by Bates. So Colby, their offense, besides Olenek, is not explosive, but how their defense is one of the best in the conference. Besides Bowdoin, they have the best defense. Second best defense, 51.2 points per game. That's all they're allowing this year are the Mules. So they're hard to score on. Bates, the early 2-0 lead here. Hicks dribbles to her left, driving in to the block outside Delario. Now Spolter will reset for Bates. If you're wondering, Bates has the fourth best defense so far this year in the NESCAC, giving up only 53.5 points per game. Hicks for three, off the mark, but Delario is there for the rebound. Turn around the lane, in and out. Rebound secured by Olenek on the move. Ahead of the defense here, and the layup is good for Amelia Hanscom. Hanscom, the junior, got behind the defense there in transition to tie it at 2 apiece. Spolter brings it up, hands off for James. She'll measure up a three. It's good! Ava James for three! By the way, I think when I announced the starters on the web feed, I think I completely skipped over. No, I did not. I mentioned Sarah Hughes, obviously one of the starters. Bates has had the same starting lineup every game this year. Down low, Von Rumer in the block, short, ball loose, rebound. There's Hughes. Yeah, I did mention Hughes. I thought for a second I didn't, but of course 9.6 points per game. She's second on the team in scoring. Here's Delario at the free throw line, going to work. And getting the bucket on the baseline over Hanscom. That's a challenge for anyone. Hanscom at 5'11". Delario's got 4 inches on her. Bates up 7-2 early. Here's Ibenebu in the right wing. Ibenebu dribbles off a couple screens to the elbow and gets it over now for Mordarski. Mordarski, solid player for the Mules. Now Ibenebu. This is an experienced Colby team. This is the same starting 5 they had last year. These are very C though. I'm not entirely sure. Foul on Ava James with 7:20 to go first quarter. Bates up 7-2. It was on the floor, so Olenek will inbounds from the baseline. The junior gets it in for Hanscom. Now gets it back. Olenek, the runner, rolls in. Olenek's going to get her points, and she's on the board here. 7-4 Bobcats, 7:10 to go, first quarter. Spolter brings it up right to left. Over to James. Now Hughes in the right wing. Hughes looking for the cutter. Goes off the screen instead. Into the traffic and gets fouled. Hughes has done a good job recently not turning it over. Hanscom was called for the foul. That's her first personal. She got 2 points. She subs out. And into the game for Colby. And guarding Delario, it looks like it's Caroline Hartley. Yep, it is. Spolter, a runner on the baseline. Good! Nice start for Bates. They're up 9-4. 6:50 to go, first quarter. Olenek brings it up for the Mules. It rolls across the timeline. She'll direct traffic with James on her. So they're going to have Olenek run the point now after I've been able to start the game. Olenek over the right wing. Now drives baseline on Hicks. Off the window. Good. Olenek. 9-6 Bobcats. 6:33 to go. First quarter. Up ahead. Hughes driving on Olenek. Outside for James. Open look for three. Yes! Ava James for three! Her second made three. She's got 6 points to lead all scorers, and Bates has a 12-6 lead. 6:15 to go, first quarter. Ibenebu over top of the key for Mordarski. Mordarski now, right wing for Hartley. Nice pass to Olenek, layup good. The sophomore Caroline Hartley out of Scarborough, Maine with a great pass on the backdoor cut. It's 12-8 Bobcats. 5:58 to go in our opening quarter. James in the left wing, dribbles off a couple screens, and that pass is in the hands of Von Rumer. A little bit of communication there. Ahead for Mordarski. They got the layup and no basket. A traveling call on Hartley. So a break for the Bobcats as Colby was in transition there. Bates has a 12-8 lead, 5:47 to go. first quarter as Von Rumer checks out of the game. Into the game for Colby. Looks like it's Talia Thompson. Thompson, a junior out of Brookline, Massachusetts. She's in. All right, here's Hicks, top of the key. Left wing for Hughes. Hughes step back over Olenek. Deep shot here, back iron. Rebound. Out of bounds off Colby, it looks like. It's going to be Bobcat ball. 5:29 to go, first quarter. Bates up 12-8. Hughes had a good game against Bowdoin the other day. Bobcats were leading after the end of the first quarter, but the Polar Bears pulled away after that. Spolter gets it in for Hughes. Steps into a two. In and out. Rough break for Hughes. Rebound, Thompson. Here come the Mules. Olenek brings it up. That was a good look. That normally goes down, but not that time. Kate Olenek, a junior. Right wing for Mordarski. Hartley at the elbow against Delario. Right wing, Mordarski for three. Almost banked it in, but no good. Delario secures the rebound, gets fouled by Thompson. 5:02 to go, first quarter, and for the first time today, a substitution for Bates. Lily Lambo into the game for the Bobcats. The sophomore coming off a career high in points, or matching her career high in points the other day, and a home win against Hamilton. As Spolter brings it up, hands it off to Lambo. Now over to Hughes, right wing for Hicks. Delario in the low block. Over Ibenebu and a couple defenders, but the shot is short, and the rebound secured by Mordarski. Mordarski brings it up quickly. Spolter on her. To Ibenebu, top of the key. Ibenebu on the drive against Lambo. Ibenebu, and a foul on Lambo. With 4:38 to go, first quarter. Emily Ryan, a first year from Middletown, Rhode Island, is in for Mordarski. Colby definitely uses a deeper bench than they did last year. Last year, they pretty much played their starting five in Hartley the entire game. This year, they definitely are bringing in more subs. Ibenebu at the line for a pair. The first free throw is good for Ibenebu, who is a 66.7% free throw shooter on the season. The Bates lead is 12-9, 4:38 to go in our opening quarter. Ibenebu's second free throw is nothing but net, and the Bobcats lead 12-10. Inbounds goes to Spolter, who brings it up. Colby is probably one of the top four teams in the NESCAC this year. I would say early on it's looking like Bowdoin, Bates, Amherst, and Colby, and maybe Hamilton is in there as well in terms of the top five. Valerio well short on that shot, no whistle, and the rebound, Olenek. Olenek slings it over to Ibenebu. Trinity was supposed to be good. They've had a rough start, and Middlebury has surprised a few people. So those two teams can get in the mix. Here's Olenek, and a foul on Hughes. 4:07 to go, first quarter. Bates by a bucket, 12-10. It's very early in the NESCAC standings, but Amherst is 2-1. The one loss to Bates. Bowdoin 3-0. Williams 3-1. A good start for Williams, but they're only 9-7 overall. Danielle Adams is going to be coming in for Delario here. 4:07 to go, first quarter. Trinity off to a 2-2 start in NESCAC play. I think disappointing for them. Middlebury only 1-3, but they had a big win. I mentioned they surprised some people. Well, they surprised some people by beating Trinity at Trinity. So not a great record for Middlebury, but a good start in terms of that win at least over what was a ranked Bantams team at the time. Ibenebu on the drive, layup short, rebound, Hughes ends up with it. Bates by a bucket and on the move. Hughes turns it over. So I mentioned she had not been turning the ball over. Turns it over there, just dribbled right into traffic. And here comes Ryan for the Mules, who trail the Bobcats by 2. 3:35 to go, first quarter. Ava James off to a good start today. Maya Hicks picks her pocket, and a held ball. Arrow favors Bates with 3:30 to go, first quarter. Early numbers, Colby shooting 4 of 8 from the floor. Olenek has not missed. 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting, 3 rebounds. As Gabby Bullock was in for the Bobcats, she replaces Hughes. James has not missed. 2 threes, 6 points. Delario's got 4 points on 2 of 5. Spolter has a bucket as well for the Bobcats. Spolter brings it up over in the right wing. However, neither James nor Delario in the game right now, so Bates will need someone else to score. Adams gets fouled by Hartley, who just shoved her. 3:17 to go, first quarter, and a sub here. Amelia Hanscom is back in. She replaces Hartley, who just picked up her first personal. Spolter inbounds to Adams, who gets over to Lambo in the right wing. Now Hicks, top of the key. Hicks directing traffic, right wing for Spolter. Spolter, the only person on the court right now who scored today for the Bobcats. She'll back it out with 10 on the shot clock. Spolter off the screen from Adams. driving around the defense. Scoop shot well short, and the rebound secured by Hanscom. Here comes Ibanebu. Hicks going to pick her up in the right wing. Bates by a bucket, but in a bit of an offensive drought. They haven't had a field goal in about 4 minutes. Here is Hanscom over to Ibanebu. Colby hasn't had a field goal since even longer. Well, actually not quite as long, 20 seconds sooner than Bates. And Hicks again with some good defense, picking the pocket of Hanscom. Ahead for Lambo. Lambo the layup, no! Hicks the rebound, out to Spolter, 15-footer, good! Sophie Spolter and the Bobcats lead 14-10, 2:23 to go first quarter. Every time you can get a bucket, it's precious against this excellent Mules defense. And a good sequence there for Maya Hicks, a steal and then an offensive rebound and then an assist on top of that. Outside, Ryan to the elbow. Outside now for Olenek. Olenek against Lambo, off a screen. Olenek looking to cut to the hoop, gets it outside for Hanscom instead. 2 on the shot clock. Hanscom blocked by Adams. Here come the Bobcats. Spolter on the move. Spolter, 15-footer. It rolls in. The shooters roll for Sophie Spolter. She's got 6, and the Bobcats lead 16-10. A minute 42 to go first quarter. Yeah, they had to get a shot off there. The shot clock was almost at 0, and then Adams got the block and recovered it, and they got in transition. Here is Olenek. Lambo given the task of trying to guard her. Olenek is so good. Outside now, Ryan for 3. Back iron. Rebound, Spolter. Here come the Bobcats. A minute 18 to go. First quarter up 16-10. Sophie Spolter's got 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Over to Balakwa now. Balakwa left wing for Lambo. Lambo dribbles to her right. Lambo over to Balakwa. Balakwa on the drive. The runner too strong from Balakwa. And the rebound is secured by Thompson. Here comes Ibanebu with under a minute to go, first quarter. Ibanebu driving on Balakwa. Ibanebu foul on the floor. Bates had a foul to give. 53.2 seconds left. Foul on Balakwa. Ava James going to come back in here momentarily for Bates. James off to a great start. She's in for Hicks. And Lydia Mardarski is in for Ibanebu. 53.2 seconds left, first quarter. Bates up 16-10 over their rivals from Waterville. Olenek gets it in for Ryan in the right wing. Ryan guarded by James. Now Olenek. Olenek off a screen from Hanscom. Olenek spins to the elbow. Back to Hanscom. Wide open underneath. Behind the defense. Talia Thompson that time. 16-12 Bobcats. Good court vision by Hanscom. Lambo right wing for Bates. Lambo a jab step and a drive, and she fell over. It went off Colby, though, luckily for Bates. Out of bounds. It'll be Bobcat ball. Colby wanted a traveling call, but it's Bobcat basketball. I don't know what Thompson was thinking. The refs clearly indicated it's Bates ball, and Spolter's going to inbounds. 26.8 seconds left first quarter. Bates up 16-12. Spolter trying to get it in here. Lobs it in for Lambo, top of the key. Adams out to Spolter. 50 on the shot clock. There's an 8-second differential shot clock, game clock. Bates by 4. Spolter off an Adams screen. Spolter outside for Lambo. Lambo drives baseline, finds Adams in the paint, and the shot is in and out. Off the rim, though. Adams gets her own rebound, goes back up with it, no, and the ball tipped around and into the hands of Hanscom with 4 seconds left. Up ahead for Ryan. Ryan going to shoot it on the run. Back iron. That's the end of the first quarter. Bobcats holding on to a 16-12 lead over Colby. A couple of chances there at the rim for Adams, just could not convert. Bates was decent there when they only had one starter in the game for an extended period of time. They went up by as many as 6 points at 16-10, but it's now a 16-12 lead for the Bobcats at the end of one. Remember, they led Bowdoin by 3 at the end of the first quarter before Bowdoin took over that game. I don't expect Colby to take over this game, but I do expect Colby to keep it close, even though Bates has yet to trail in this one. Bates is only shooting 38.9%. However, they are 2 of 4 from three-point range. And one thing to keep in mind is in their first matchup, Colby had a heck of a time trying to make anything from outside. Now, Bates is only 2 of 12. But Colby was 0 of 15 from three-point range the first time these two teams played, and Colby so far in this game 0 of 2 from outside, even though they're shooting better overall. at 41.7%. So that's something to keep in mind. Can Colby make some threes? Because Bates has made a couple from Ava James. She hasn't missed actually from outside, 2 of 2. 6 points to go along with 6 for Spolter. Bates is not a great three-point shooting team, 28.3%. However, Colby at 27.5%. If they're going to have someone shoot a three, Mordarski is probably their best option among the starters at 39%. Olenek, for all her greatness, not an amazing three-point shooter, although she does attempt a lot. 26.7%. She attempts by far the most on the team, but only 16 of 60. If she could develop an outside shot, watch out. But she typically prefers to drive to the hoop. All right, that's something to keep in mind, because obviously threes can definitely shift the game. Bates has not been to the free throw line yet in this game. Colby 2 of 2 from the line. Bates with a 4-point lead. And the inbounds goes to Ibenebu to start our second quarter of action. Colby going left to right on your screen. Ibenebu hands off for Olenek. Now Mordarski. Hanscom at the elbow. She's a really good passer, I've noticed. Mordarski now over the elbow. Battling Balakwa here. Off the window. No. Rebound out of bounds. Going to go to Bates with 9:40 to go. Second quarter. And the Bobcats up by a score of 16-12 over the Mules. Hughes brings it up over to Lambeau. Now back to Hughes' right wing. Hughes looking for some options here. Left wing for Ava James. James dribbles to her right. Hands off for Hughes. Hughes 0 of 2 from the field in the first quarter, but only a matter of time before she gets going offensively. Guarded by Olenek. Now Balakwa. Balakwa drives out to Lambeau. Lambeau to Delario. Delario gathers. 4 seconds on the shot clock. James for 3 again. This one off the mark. She was on fire, but misses that one. Hanscom the rebound. Kind of a desperation shot with the shot clock winding down. That would have been quite the make. Here is Olenek to run things for the Mules. Inside 9 minutes to go. Second quarter. Ibenebu now. Over for Mordarski. Mordarski against James. Here's the Hanscom at the elbow. They love to set this up. Down low, Von Rumer. And James and Delario are there, walking it out of bounds. He'll stay with Colby. 8 on the shot clock, and Maya Hicks is into the game. Hicks had 2 assists, 2 steals, and a rebound in that first quarter. She's back in for Balakwa. And Lambeau, the only bench player in now. Spolter, the only starter not in the game at the moment for the Bobcats. Top of the key here, Mordarski driving, bouncing it to Hanscom, and yeah, they didn't realize the shot clock was winding down. That shot never hit the rim, and Colby just kind of wasn't aware that they didn't have much time. So a shot clock violation, Bobcat ball. And in their defense, I forgot that they didn't have much time either, that shot clock violation. So, you know. All right, here's Hughes with it over to Lambeau in the left wing. Lambeau feeds it down low for Delario. Delario outside for Lambeau. Lambeau gathers, drives baseline on Ibenebu, kicks it outside for Delario. Delario catches, shoots. Ooh, off the mark. Hughes was going to try to save it, but it's up dribbling out of bounds. So it's going to be Colby ball. 8:14 to go, second quarter. Bates up 16-12 over the Mules as Olenek brings it up and dribbles it over into the left wing for Colby off a screen from Von Rumer. Olenek a step back 3. Here's where I mentioned she's trying to get going a little bit. Von Rumer gets the rebound and a foul underneath. So Olenek, again, that's her one kind of area where she's trying to get going from outside, but has only hit 26.7% of those today. However, Anna Von Rumer was right there for the rebound. Delario got called for a foul on the floor, so it's Colby basketball. And I've been able to inbound from the baseline for the Mules. Gets it in for Olenek against Lambeau. Here's where she's so dangerous when she has the ball in her hands and able to drive the hoop. And running from the baseline, no. Ball tapped around, and I've been able to the offensive rebound. Somehow not a travel. Over to Hanscom, outside for Mordarski, left wing for 3. Back iron, rebound Hicks, and Colby still hasn't made a 3 against the Bobcats this year. Here is Lambeau left wing. Oh, a dangerous pass by Hicks, but Hughes ends up with it. Hughes blocked by Olenek. What a play by Olenek, and a held ball. Arrow going to favor Bates with 7:28 to go. Second quarter, Bates up 16-12, and, well, neither team has scored so far in the second quarter as Caroline Hartley, the sophomore, returns for the Mules, replacing Anna Von Rumer, who got key rebound there earlier for the Mules. As Hicks gets it into Delario, now back out to Hicks. Delario down low, in the post, going to work, turnaround jumper, and it rolls in. There we go, Delario. 6 points for her on 3 of 7 shooting. Bobcats by 6 again, matching their largest lead of the game. Ibenebu with it for the Mules. Dribbles over to the left wing. Guarded by Hughes. Ibenebu over to Hartley. Hands off for Mordarski. Mordarski off a screen. Mordarski drives. Mordarski the runner, short, and there it is. Another offensive rebound. Amelia Hanscom that time. Second chance points now even at 4. Rebounding-wise, each team has 5 offensive rebounds. That one turned into an easy bucket for Colby. 18-14 Bates. Delario at the elbow. Delario outside for Hicks. Hicks back to Delario. 9 on the shot clock and a foul here on Hanscom as the 5'11" junior was trying to hang with Delario. And Talia Thompson returns for Colby. Abby Walsh and Sophie Spolter are in for Bates. And Lauren Cho, a senior, is in for the Mules. Hicks to inbound from the baseline. Bates by 4, 6:30 to go, second quarter. In for Delario, who catches and goes against Hartley. That layup is well over the hoop. Rebound Cho, and here comes Olenek. Olenek on the drive against Walsh. Olenek now dribbles to her left. Bates by 4 with 6:15 to go, second quarter. Bates only 1 of 5 from the field. Colby only 1 of 7 from the field in this quarter. And Bates had a rough second quarter against Bowdoin offensively also. The difference here is Colby is also having a rough second quarter. However, Ibenebu able to drive to the hoop and draw a foul there. So Ibenebu is going to go to the line again. Both her points are from the free throw line in this game. She's at the line for 2 with 6:04 to go, second quarter. Colby within 4, their first trip to the line of the quarter. Ibenebu's free throw is no good this time. She was 2 of 2 from the line in the first quarter, but misses that one. One more now for the senior out of Staten Island, Chelsea Ibenebu. That one is good, and it's a 3-point lead for Bates, 18-15. The inbounds goes to Spolter, and she brings it up. The senior off to a good start today with 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Left wing for Hicks. Now Delario on the low block. Delario going to work. Turnaround jumper. Back iron that time. Offensive rebound for Sophie Spolter. Spolter drives baseline out to Hicks left wing. Hicks jab step and drive. Hicks in some traffic. And in trouble here. And the ball knocked away by Ibenebu. And she's able to save it to Hartley. Here comes Thompson ahead for Cho. Cho in the left wing. Cho going to slow things down. Ibenebu with it. Lambo is on Olenek, who's off the ball right now. Ibenebu with it instead for Colby. Ibenebu looking to drive again. Delario had a block, but there was a foul called here. It is on Delario. Looked like a clean block from here. Allison Montgomery can't believe it, but Ibenebu is going to go to the line again. Bates has yet to go to the free throw line, and that is the second personal foul on Delario. First Bobcat to reach 2 fouls. They kind of spread him out before then. Adams will check in for Delario. Ibenebu at the line for 2. 5:24 to go, second quarter. She is 3 of 4 from the line, only player to go to the line at all in this game, and she makes the first free throw. Make it 4 of 5 for Ibenebu, who's again about 66% on the season. Making that one, it's a 2-point Bates lead. Ibenebu's second free throw, back iron, rebound, Lambo able to grab it. Here come the Bobcats. Bates by a bucket. Lambo with it. Driving, finds a wide open Walsh who lays it in. What a feed by Lily Lambo. And Abby Walsh gets on the board. Bates had 3 players with 6 points apiece and then nothing else until then. James has 6, Delario has 6, Spolter has 6, and now Walsh on the board. Olenek running things now. Bates by 4, 4:55 to go, second quarter. Thompson at the elbow, guarded by Walsh. Outside for Olenek, right wing. Olenek driving on Lambo, kicks it outside for Cho. Cho dribbles to her left. Cho all the way, layup, rolls off the rim. Rebound Adams. Here's Spolter on the move for the Bobcats, leading by 4. Spolter looking to drive on Ibenebu. Spolter, baseline drive and drawing the foul. Sophie Spolter with 4:35 to go, second quarter, going to the line for the first time today. Defna Pekinbosch is in for Colby along with Anna von Rumer. Pekinbosch is a sophomore out of Istanbul, Turkey. Sophie Spolter at the line for 2 for Bates. The senior out of Blacklick, Ohio, drains the first. She's a 91% free throw shooter on the season. The Bobcats back up to a 5-point lead, 21-16. Second free throw, that's a rare miss for Spolter. Walsh trying to get the rebound, but it ends up going off Walsh out of bounds. It'll be Colby basketball, 4:33 to go, second quarter. Bates, a 5-point advantage. Spolter's got 7 points to lead all scorers so far in this game. Olenek brings it up for the Mules. Olenek across the timeline, met by Lambo. Hands off for Cho. Here's Ibenebu, top of the key. Right wing for Pekenbos. Now it's Olenek, and we have a foul on the floor here against Bates. They had a foul to give. Foul on Spolter. Lily Brown in the game for the first time, and Ava James checks back in for the Bobcats. And it'll be Ibenebu to inbounds from the baseline with 4:17 to go. Second quarter for the Mules. Ibenebu gets it in for Olenek. Olenek will try a three. Back iron. Offensive rebound, though. Pekenbos. Here's Von Rumer. Over to Olenek. Olenek with Ava James on her. And we have a three in the key against Colby. It'll be Bobcat ball. With 4:03 to go, second quarter, Bates up 21-16. They've led by as many as 6. Colby has not led in this game as Brown brings it up. Brown, who had a couple threes late against Bowdoin, dribbles over to her left, outside for Walsh. Walsh to Hicks, left wing. Hicks off a Walsh screen. Adams top of the key. Down low for Walsh. Walsh, a tough fadeaway here, too strong. And Ibenebu had it, lost it, but Von Rumer chases it down for the Mules. Gets it back over to Ibenebu, who brings it up. 3:36 to go. Second quarter, Ibenebu looking to drive against Brown, and the layup is good for Chelsea Ibenebu. That's actually her first field goal of the game. She had made 4 free throws. Bates by 3. On the other end, here's Walsh. Walsh through traffic. No good. Adams is there, but she can't make the follow, and Von Rumer the rebound and a foul on Bates. Caroline Hartley going to come back in for Colby. And now Bates is going to bring in Petra Kuntz and Gabby Balakwa momentarily. Because it's the 5th team foul, it's going to be 2 free throws for Colby. Balakwa and Kuntz are in for Bates. Hartley and Mardarski back in for the Mules. And Anna Von Rumer is at the line. She does not go to the free throw line very often, but she's good when she's there. 8 of 10 from the line this year for Von Rumer. And the free throw is good. Bates by a bucket, 21-19, 3:19 to go, second quarter. Von Rumer's second free throw is good as well. It's a 1-point lead for the Bobcats. Inbounds goes to Brown with 3:17 to go in the second. Brown directing traffic. The sophomore out of Texas. Off a screen here. Now Kuntz top of the key. Right wing for Balakwa. Balakwa looks to drive. Balakwa nowhere to go. Back to Kuntz. Kuntz hands off for Balakwa. 13 on the shot clock. Balakwa back to Kuntz. Here's Brown. Brown's their best shooter on the court, but she trips and falls. And the ball is loose. And it's still loose, and Ibenebu ends up with it. Von Rumer, good hustle as well. That's the issue for Brown, over dribbling. She's an excellent shooter. They're trying to get her to dribble less into traffic, because that results in turnovers. At the elbow, Hartley, and a foul. That's not what Bates wanted, but that gives her free throws. It's on Brown. And quickly, Sophie Spolter going to come back in. As a rough sequence there for Brown. All right, Hartley now at the line for Colby. She is a good free throw shooter as well, 77.8%, 14 of 18 from the line this season for Caroline Hartley. At the line for 2 here. First free throw is up and no good. So it's still a 1-point lead for Bates at 21-20, 2:35 to go, second quarter. Bates over the limit. Colby only 2 fouls this quarter, so they're in good shape there. Second free throw from Hartley is no good as well. Kuntz able to get the rebound. She got fouled by Mardarski. Good job by Kuntz, hustling in, boxing out, and drawing a foul there. Third team foul against the Mules. 2:33 to go, second quarter. Bates by 1. Here's Spolter off a Kuntz screen. Over to Walsh. Left wing for Balakwa. Balakwa going off a screen from Walsh. Outside for Kuntz. Now it's Walsh, and she gets fouled by Von Rumer. Well, I said Colby has fouls to give. They don't anymore. That'll be their 4th team foul. Thompson's going to come back in for Colby, and Claire Gattani is going to check in for Bates. Gattani is in for Walsh, trying to give the Bobcats a little bit more of an offensive spark here, as they've only scored 5 points in this quarter on 2 of 10 shooting, after scoring 16 points in the first quarter. Von Rumer will check out here, and looks like back into the game is Ryan. Inbounds goes to Gattani, looking to post up. Gattani off the glass, no. Balak with a rebound. Balak out to Spolter. Spolter in all sorts of trouble here. Could not keep her footing, and it's a turnover. As Mardarski gets to the head, James able to contest it, deflects to Hartley, who rambles through the lane and draws a foul. 2 minutes to go, second quarter. Bates by 1, and Hartley going to go back to the line here after missing 2 free throws earlier. Second on James. Fouls piling up. Spolter has 2, James has 2, Delario has 2. Delario has not been on the court for a while after her second foul. Hartley's first free throw after missing a pair earlier is no good, so she's 0 of 3 from the line. Again, her numbers from the line were pretty good. I mentioned entering this game, just some misses here. In fact, she'd only missed 4 all season, 14 of 18. She's missed 3 in this game. That one, make it 4 again, no good. That matches her total she'd missed entering the game. All right, here is Balakwa over to James. That's a break for the Bobcats. That's 4 points Colby would love to have back. Bates by 1. Spolter trying to get some action going here on offense. Over to Balakwa, top of the key. They're going to try with Petra here. Kuntz in traffic. Outside for Spolter, setting the shot clock. Spolter along 2. Front iron. Petra's there. Kuntz, the full. No. Rebound. Held ball. Arrow with Colby with a minute 29 to go. Well, Bates has had some chances on putbacks, and they just haven't made them. They've had a bunch of offensive rebounds where they go back up with it and just straight up miss. And there was another one. And that can't happen when points are at a premium, which they are against Colby every time. Ibenebu has it. Right wing for Mardarski. Hartley at the elbow, guarded by Kuntz. Gattani thought there might have been a foul there. A jumper's no good. Ball loose, and now there is a foul on Colby. And this should be free throws for Bates. Based on her look, yep, Olenek going to get called for this one. Her first. Ava James is the one who's going to get these free throws for the Bobcats, as Colby's going to make a substitution as Lauren Cho is back in. James does not go to the line much. In fact, she's only been to the line for 2 attempts all season, 2 of 2. So this is her second trip to the line, and that one is good. James more of an outside shooter. That's why she doesn't get to the free throw line. She got 7 points, tied with Spolter for a game-high 7 so far. Second free throw is good as well. The lead is 23-20 Bobcats with a minute 5 to go until halftime. James checks out. Hughes back in. Hughes, Gattani, Kuntz, Spolter, Balakwa for the Bobcats. Ibenebu brings it up with a minute to go, second quarter. Ibenebu dribbles to her right. Hands off for Cho. Now Olenek. Olenek driving. Olenek. Layup, no. Rebound deflected and saved. What a play by Hartley that time. Ibenebu. A lot of people are falling over today. Here's Olenek. Layup well short. Rebound Balakwa. 33 seconds to go. Bates by 3. Second quarter of action. Bates has been outscored 8-7 in a very low-scoring second quarter. Both teams are 2 of 13 from the field in this quarter. It has not been pretty from an offensive perspective. First quarter was a little bit more in rhythm for these teams. Spolter off a screen, dribbles to her right, pulls up from 15. You want that shot for her, but it misses back iron. And the rebound to Olenek. 8 seconds left. Olenek ahead. They let Hartley get behind the defense, and the layup is good. It's a 1-point game, and that's how the half will end, with Colby getting to within 1. Bates never trailed in the first half. Their biggest lead was 6 points, but they're holding on to a 1-point lead here as the transition defense left much to be desired throughout that first half. Colby had 6 fast break points, and Bates had none. So that is something that has to change. They cannot allow Colby to get behind the defense that easily. Points in the paint was all Colby too, 16-8. Bates was unable to finish in the paint. Bates does have the lead, but the numbers aren't pretty. Bates only shooting 28% from the floor. Colby only shooting 30.8% from the field. Really, those two Ava James threes loom large. They're almost canceled out by Colby making 6 free throws, Bates only making 3 and 4. But Colby left some points on the board on the free throw line. They were only 6 of 12 from the line. So just an ugly first half, as you might expect with these two very good defensive teams. Bates outscored them 16-12 in the first quarter, but Colby answered, outscored them 10-7 in that unfortunate second quarter for the Bobcats, who are holding on again to a 1-point advantage. Ava James has 8 points to lead all scorers on 2 of 3 shooting. 7 for Sophie Spolter on 3 of 6 shooting. Delario had those 2 fouls, so she didn't play as much as normal, but she ended up with 6 points in that first half. And only one other person that scored for Bates, that was Abby Walsh. And for the Mules, Olenek has 6 points on 3 of 8 shooting. That's, relatively speaking, containing her. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. And Ivan Abu, 6 points, most of that work at the line. 1 of 3 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line. Hanscom has 4 points for Colby. Rebounds are dead even, 22 apiece. Second chance points, 4 and 4. Turnovers, Colby has turned it over a couple more times. Bates has 4 points off turnovers, Colby has 1. But those fast break points definitely hurt the Bobcats. That gave Colby 6 easy points in that quarter. All right, 23-22, the Bobcats lead at halftime. We'll take a break, come back with the second half in just a bit here on NSN. About ready to get our third quarter underway here at Alumni Gymnasium as Bates is holding on to a 23-22 lead over Colby, kind of mirroring their first two NESCAC games of the year where they never trailed against Amherst and Hamilton, but both games were close the entire time. And, well, they haven't trailed in this game, but it's been really close. They haven't led by more than 6 points in this game. Their biggest lead, 18-12, with 6:58 to go in that second quarter, and now it's a 1-point lead. Again, not a great second quarter for either team shooting the ball. Colby was able to outscore Bates 10-7, but Colby was 3 of 14, Bates 2 of 14. Let's see the offense get going a little bit more here in the third quarter. It'll be Bobcat basketball to start the third quarter, holding on to a 1-point lead here at Alumni Gym, and it's Sophie Spolter going left to right on your screen. Over to Hughes, top of the key, right wing for James. Out to Hughes, left wing for three. Back iron. And the rebound, held ball, and the arrow will be Colby basketball with 9:47 to go in the third. A good look for Sarah Hughes. I like that idea, trying to get her going. She had a big game against Bowdoin the other day, but 0-4 so far from the floor in this one. Well-designed play, though, to start this third quarter. Just could not convert. Ivanebu hands off for Olenek. Over now for Mordarski to get back to Olenek. The runner is in and out, and another offensive rebound for Colby, and traveling is called on Hanscom. So the Mules got another offensive rebound there. They are fairly even with Bates in that category, but it just seems like more of them have happened recently, I guess. But she traveled, so it's Bobcat ball. Spolter brings it up. Right wing for Hughes, guarded by Olenek. Hughes feeds Spolter. Here's Delario in the paint. Nicely done by Delario in a big game at Colby in non-conference play. She's up to 8 points in this game, and the Bobcats lead 25-22. On the board first to begin our third quarter. Here's Ibanebu over to Mordarski, top of the key. Now Hanscom at the elbow. Hanscom right wing for Mordarski. Mordarski off a screen from Hanscom. Now back to Hanscom. Hanscom looking for some options here. Hands off for Olenek. Preseason All-American. Olenek drives and nice feeding down low. And the layup is good by Hanscom. Olenek is a good passer on top of her scoring ability. And Hanscom gets the easy layup. 25-24 Bobcats. 8:38 to go third quarter. Here's Hicks in the right wing. Delario's got it and easily makes a layup as Hanscom was fronting Delario but had no help behind, and a little frustrated there as Delario had a wide open layup. Good pass there to the low block. Bates by 3. Here's Olenek in the left wing. Olenek off a screen, now drives. Olenek the runner. No, rebound Delario. And over to Spolter. Spolter brings it up, and Olenek almost stripped her, but Spolter keeps going. Right wing for James. Extra pass. Hicks. Corner. 3. Side pocket. Maya Hicks from downtown. And Bates has matched their largest lead of the game at 30-24. Inside 8 minutes to go. Third quarter. Olenek brings it up for the Mules. Olenek to the elbow for Hanscom. Hanscom and Olenek kind of keep this offense going from a passing perspective. And they're looking for another cut. Hanscom will fire away instead and hit. A long 2 for Hanscom. She's got 8 and has both their buckets in this quarter. 30-26 Bobcats after that long 2-pointer. Here's Spolter off a screen. Spolter looking for some options. Delario was momentarily open. We have a foul underneath and a baffled Amelia Hanscom. It's going to be called on her because I was watching her. She started clapping her hands until she realized, oh, the ref called it on me. That's going to be her third personal. So Caroline Hartley's back in for Colby. Inbounds goes to Delario. Hands off for Spolter. Out to Hughes. Going to get a good look for 3 here. Doesn't quite get the shooter's roll. Went high off the rim. And the rebound secured by Hartley. I thought for a moment it might bounce back in, but not quite. Here's Mordarski driving. Outside, and James almost stole it, but Olenek ends up with it. Olenek now going to work. A runner here, no, but a foul is called. Who'd they call a foul on is the question. It's Ava James. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Bates up 30-26, and for the first time today, Kate Olenek is going to the free throw line. as Lily Lambeau is in for James. That's James' third personal foul. Olenek is decent at the line, 68% on the year from the free throw line. And her first trip today. She's got 6 points in this one. Free throw is good. And it's a 3-point game for Bates with the lead here, 30-27. 7 minutes left, third quarter. Olenek, her second free throw. In and out. Lambeau can't get the rebound, out of bounds. Colby going to get it back. That is a tough break for the Bobcats. After Olenek missed the second free throw, Colby maintains possession as Lambeau just couldn't grab it. Olenek to inbounds, gets it in for Hartley. Now back to Olenek. Olenek bounces over to Ibanebu, who will set things up for the Mules. Bates by 3, 6:50 to go, third quarter. Ibanebu, Spolter takes the charge. Second time Spolter's taking a charge today. Ibanebu called for the foul, her second personal. Emily Ryan checks back in for the Mules. Bates by 3, 6:48 to go, third quarter. Spolter brings it up across the timeline. Over to Hicks, who had a big 3 earlier. Delario reels in that pass, now going to work. Kicks it out to Lambeau. Extra pass, Spolter, corner 2, in and out. And the rebound, Hartley, and then a turnover in the backcourt as Hartley threw it behind Olenek and out of bounds. So Bates will get it back with 6:30 to go, third quarter, leading 30-27. It'll be Hughes to inbounds from the baseline for Bates. Hughes lobs it in to Delario, who gathers and attacks. Short, ball tapped out. Olenek's going to get the long rebound here. Up ahead for Ryan. Ryan, off a couple screens, fires a 2. Back iron, long rebound, Hughes. 6:10 to go, third quarter, up 30-27. Right wing for Spolter. Spolter driving baseline, out to Hicks. Hicks drives. Hicks all the way, but the layup is short. It was too far under the rim. Olenek now in transition will slow things down and back it out for the Mules. Here's Ryan. Right wing for Mordarski. Off a screen from Hartley. Mordarski drives and kicks to Ryan. Olenek left wing. Lambeau on her. Off a screen from Von Rumer. Over to the pass by Mordarski to Von Rumer. Stolen by Delario. And here comes the Bobcats. Lambeau pump fakes. Drives. Lambeau, a tough shot. No good. Got her own rebound and is fouled underneath. With 5:27 to go, third quarter. Bates up 30-27. They've outscored Colby 7-5 so far in the third. And it'll be Bobcat basketball on the baseline. Foul was on Ryan. Spolter inbounds here. Gets it in for Hughes left wing. Hughes trying to get her going. Outside for Lambeau. Got tipped, but Lambeau gets it back. Now Spolter right wing. 12 on the shot clock for the senior out of Blacklick, Ohio. Spolter. Out to Hicks. Another third. Bates up by 3, 30-27. Belacqua preparing to check back in for the Bobcats as Ryan brings it up. Right wing for Olenek. Off a so far in the third, but only 3 of 10 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3. Maya Hicks had that 3 earlier. For Colby, only 5 points and 2 of 6 shooting. They were 1 of 2 from the line this quarter, and so Bates has gone up by 3. Again, this game has been close the entire time. Overall, Bates shooting only 28.6%. Colby at 31.3%. And Colby 0 of 5 from 3. Bates has made 3 of 9. They're actually shooting better from 3 than they are from 2. 33% to 28%. You don't see that too often. Fouls-wise, James has 3. Hanscom has 3. Those are the fouls to keep a watch on right now. Lambeau with it. Down low for Delario, outside. Spolter right wing for 3. Rims off, and the rebound to Von Rumer. Holder has made a few threes this year, but her game is more the mid-range and driving. Here's Ryan. Outside for Von Rumer for three, and Von Rumer, it looked good, but no good. Rebound, Hartley, I'd say it looked good off her hands, but just went off the back of the rim there from the left wing. Colby gets another offensive rebound. Von Rumer outside for Ryan. And Ryan, offensive foul that time on Von Rumer. A little moving screen there. Bobcat ball with 4:07 to go. Second foul on Von Rumer. 4:01 to go here, third quarter. 30-27 Bates. Abby Walsh in. Talia Thompson in here. It'll be Hughes to inbounds from the near side. Oh, nope. It'll be Walsh to inbounds from the near side here for the Bobcats, who lead by 3. 4:01 to go, third quarter. Here is Hughes. Dribbles over to her right. Hughes outside for Balakwa for three. Ring it up! Gabby Balakwa, a big shot for Bates. 33-27, they've matched their largest lead, 6 points. 3:40 to go, third quarter. Here's Ibenabu. Left elbow here, Thompson driving. Over to Delario somehow, no. You don't see that too often, actually getting a shot up. Lambo the rebound. Here come the Bobcats leading by 6. Hughes on the move. Lambo now. Feeds Delario. Back to Lambo. Pump fakes. To the elbow. Out to Delario. Thought about a three. She's going to try a three. It rims off. Still waiting for Elsa's first career-made three-pointer. Does not shoot them very often. Rebounded by Olenek. It was open. Looked pretty decent. Olenek, nice drive here. Going to draw a foul and get 2 free throws. 3:03 to go, third quarter. Bates by 6. So Olenek back to the line here. She's 1 of 2 from the line today. 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists for Olenek. Only 3 of 10 from the floor, though. Free throw here for Olenek is good, and it's 33-28. Bobcats, 3:03 to go. Third quarter. Second free throw is good. 33-29 Bobcats. Hughes brings it up. Over to Walsh. Bates by 4. Walsh to Delario. Back to Hughes. Hughes. Lambo left wing. Now Delario at the elbow. Delario backing down the defense out to Hughes. Now Delario. Von Rumer going to foul her again. Anna Von Rumer. Fouls are piling up for her third personal. And now they're going to bring Hanscom back in, who also has 3 fouls. So the thing about Delario is you're going to have to keep bringing in new post players because you're going to draw a lot of fouls. Von Rumer has 3 personals. Hanscom has 3 personals. Hanscom, though, is back in. And it's the 5th team foul, so Delario can get 2 free throws. Delario makes the first. Delario on the season is a 70% free throw shooter. Makes the first one there, giving her 11 points for the game to lead all scorers. Second one is good as well, and the Bobcats back up by 6, 35-29. 2:44 to go, third quarter. Ibenabu brings it up for the Mules. Ibenabu dribbles to her right. Top of the key now for Thompson. Hanscom at the elbow. She can shoot a little bit, but that one no good. Rebound, Hughes. Hughes on the move. Hughes up ahead, but Balakwa is not quite tall enough. That's a turnover on Hughes. The pass was just beyond the reach of Gabby Balakwa. Colby basketball, Ibenabu brings it up. Here's Ibenabu, hands off for Ryan. Ryan hands off for Olenek. Olenek driving. Delario and company have done a good job swinging off the roots. Hanscom can score it. We know this. And she lays it up and in. She's strong. She really is. She's probably, I would say, their second best player. Just one I've seen. She got 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. 5 rebounds, too. Mordarski's pretty good, too. Balakwa going to try another 3, and Balakwa again from outside! And the largest lead of the game for Bates at 7, 38-31. A minute 37 to go, third quarter. Olenek hands off for Ryan. Now Ibenabu in the right wing. Here's Hanscom again. Over to right. I also like how Hanscom views the court with her passing. Olenek, a tough runner, and hits every part of the rim before bouncing off, and Delario gets the rebound. Hughes brings it up. Hughes over to Balakwa's hit 2 big threes. Now from 15. How about Balakwa? Balakwa's got 8. The Bobcats lead by 9. Under a minute to go, third quarter. Here's Olenek. Lambo on her. Ryan. Hanscom at the elbow. Delario on her. Outside, Ryan for 3. That is not even in the area code of the basket. And it goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Colby. 36.3 seconds left. Rodarski is in for Colby. Spolter, James, and Adams in for Bates. And it'll be Colby ball. Olenek's going to inbound from the far side. Bates by 9. 36.3 seconds left, third quarter. Olenek gets it in for Ibenebu. Ibenebu feeds it to Hanscom at the elbow. Adams on her. Hanscom going to go to work right here. And, yeah, she'll get whatever she wants. And she can go to the rim like that. 40-33 Bobcats. Hanscom has 12 points, on 6 of 8 shooting. Here's Spolter. There is only 1 second between the shot clock and the game clock. Spolter with Ibenebu on her. Bates trying to hold for basically the last shot here. Spolter off a screen from Adams. Spolter through 3 defenders. Olenek blocks the shot, but is called for a foul. And Spolter will get 2 free throws with 6 seconds left. Second personal on Olenek. And Spolter, who's 1-2 from the line today, has 7 points at the line, 4-2. 6.7 seconds remaining in our third quarter. Bates up 40-33. The offense has found their rhythm a little bit more here in this quarter than they did in the second. And Spolter rattles in a free throw. Second free throw from Spolter. Also rattles in. Bates by 9 again. Olenek with 3 out to Ibenebu. It's short, and that's the end of the third quarter with the Bobcats with their largest lead of this one, 42-33 over Colby. By the way, Spolter making more free throws there. The first time these two teams played, it was almost hilarious. Spolter made 10 of 10 from the line down the stretch. And pause real briefly here. Yeah, sorry, folks. Just talking a little bit better about how the men's basketball team was on the the Sports Center top 10 plays of the night the other day, as they had an and one no-look behind-the-back pass from Sean O'Leary to Bobby Carpuri. They made 8th on Sports Center. That was really cool to see. But back to what Spolter did against Colby. She had 20 points in that game in Waterville and made 10 of 10 from the line. And I think, if I recall, yes, all 10 of her made free throws in that game were in the fourth quarter. Like, that's hard to do. 10 of 10 in one quarter. And a 61-50 win for Bates in that game. They're up here 42-33 over the Mules. So, yes, the Mules know very well they don't want Spolter at the line. Spolter 3 of 4 in this game, 9 points. But how about Gabi Balakwa in that quarter? A couple big threes, 8 points for Balakwa. All right, Bates ball to begin our fourth quarter. Bates up 42-33 after outscoring Colby 19-11 in that third quarter of action. Now we're in the fourth. Spolter drives out for Lambeau. Outside, James for 3. It's short. Rebound, Ibenebu.
Can you change the quarter to 4? Logan.
All right, here comes Colby. Ibenebu drives and draws a foul. And Ibenebu's going to go to the line for a pair of free throws again. Ibenebu has been at the line a lot today. Ibenebu 4 of 6 from the line. 9:37 to go. Lambeau was called for that one. Ibenebu's got 6 points, 4 of 6 from the line, 3 rebounds. And going to the line again And she makes it, so it's 42-34. Bobcats 9:37 left in this one. Second free throw from Ibenebu. No good that time, but another offensive rebound for Colby. My goodness. Thompson gets it this time. It's weird. The offensive rebounds statistically are fairly even, but it just seems like Colby's gotten ones in more important moments, perhaps. I don't know. Here's Olenek. Second chance point, 6 of 2 in favor of Colby. Hanscom rambling through the lane. In and out. Rebound. Spolter. Here come the Bobcats. Up ahead. James is open. James on the break. Layup. No. Rebound. Lambo. Lambo back up. No, but a foul. And Lily Lambo to the line for 2 with 9:08 to go. And Bates up 42-34. And Delario is back in for Danielle Adams. So Lily Lambo at the line here. Her first trip to the line today. She is a 65% free throw shooter on the year, and that one is too strong. So one more now for Lambo. Bates now 7 of 9 as a team today. Makes that one. So the Bobcats lead 43-34, 9:08 remaining. Colby basketball. Ibenebu brings it up for the Mules. Ibenebu, right wing for Thompson. Hanscom now at the elbow outside for Olenek. Olenek drives out to Hanscom. Far side Mordarski. Mordarski pump fakes against Balakwa, drives baseline. Good defense by Bates, and the pass stolen by Spolter. Good defense by Balakwa and James, and then Spolter with the steal. How about that? Here's Balakwa, who's been so good. James far side. James from 15. Yes, save by James! 45-34, Bates. Time out, Colby with 8:18 to go. And the Bobcats leading by 11, their largest lead of the game after Ava James increases her total to 10 points in this one on 3 of 6 shooting. Delario's got 12 to lead the way, but big-time supporting efforts from Spolter, who has 9, James, as I mentioned, 10, and Balakwa, 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting for Balakwa today. They've done all this without Sarah Hughes scoring a point. So, against Bowdoin, they really relied a lot on Hughes, Delario, and that was pretty much it in that game. Unfortunately, they really needed a third scorer in that Bowdoin game. Today, they've gone 4 people involved. Delario, who you always expect to be involved, but it's good to see James, Spolter, and especially Balakwa off the bench, giving them a little bit more balance. It's interesting, offense really, statistically, Bates has been the best. They're the number 1 scoring team in the NESCAC. They barely lead over Hamilton, 67.3 to 67.2. Bates has much better defense, though, than Hamilton. They're the number 1 scoring team. Colby's number 7 scoring team. Now, that's only about 5 points per game separating Bates and Colby, but still, Bates' offense has been the best in the conference this year. Their defense has been the 4th best. Colby's been the 2nd best. Only Bowdoin has a better defense than Colby. Of course, we saw that the other day with what Bowdoin can do. Bowdoin did lose a game, but it was a non-conference game during the holidays. All right, the inbounds from Von Rumer. Olenek brings it up. Bates by 11 with 8:17 left. Olenek guarded by Lambo. Von Rumer now in the right wing. Top of the key for Hanscom, left wing, it's Cho. Cho dribbles to the free throw line, now Hanscom again. Very talented player, but Spolter able to rip it away. Spolter arguing it went off of Hanscom, but not going to get the call. But a good play by Spolter anyway. It'll be Colby basketball. 8 on the shot clock for the Mules. He tried to sell it. Olenek to inbounds from the far side. Gets it in for Ibenebu. Ibenebu 5 on the shot clock. Ibenebu driving. Layup too strong. Hicks the rebound. Got it. Here goes Hicks. Up ahead for Lambo. Spolter now. Bates by 11. 7:38 left. James, right wing for Hicks. Hicks, that pass was to no one in particular. Out of bounds. Someone missed some sort of communication there. It'll be Colby basketball. 7:31 left. Bates by 11. Olenek brings it up for the Mules. This is her time. This is when Olenek can take over. If they need someone down the stretch to get points, they'll run things for her. Over to Cho. Cho off a screen, driving on Delario, and a nice finger roll from Lauren Cho, the senior. 45-39 Bobcats, 7:07 left. Spolter ahead for Lambo. Lambo against Von Rumer, off the glass, it's good! Remember, Von Rumer's playing with 3 fouls, didn't want to pick up another. 6:51 left, Bates by 11. Ibenebu guarded by Spolter. Out to the top of the key for Hanscom. Hanscom against Delario, right wing for Olenek. Olenek with 8 on the shot clock. Olenek going to work, driving, kicking. Von Rumer in the corner. Von Rumer step back 3, short. And Olenek saves it, but not quite. Out of bounds. It'll be Bobcat ball. This is kind of unbelievable, but Colby against Bates now this season is 0 of 23 from three-point range. They were 0 of 15 in the first game and 0 of 8 in this game. Here is James in the right wing. James dribbles to the elbow, outside for Spolter. Spolter directing traffic with 6:12 to go in this one. Spolter driving. Tough shot off the glass. No. Delario's there for the follow, and it's good for Elsa Delario. 49-36, inside 6 minutes left. Bates pulling away here. Olenek to the elbow for Hanscom. Hanscom looking for some options here. Upside Von Rumer. Flips one over to Hanscom. Now Olenek in the right wing. Guarded by Lambo. Olenek on the drive, and Olenek with a nice finish at the rim. Olenek now has 11 points. Bates by 11. 5:28 left. Delario at the elbow. Outside for Spolter on the right wing. Spolter off a screen. Far side for Hicks. Here's Delario again. Delario backing down Hanscom, who has 3 fouls. Delario up, over, and hit! 51-38 Bates, 5:08 to go. Delario is up to 16 points and 5 rebounds. Ibenebu. Over to Von Rumer. Von Rumer, layup, no, but a foul. Caroline Hartley is in as the 4th personal on Ava James. And Von Rumer at the line. She's made both her free throws today. Free throw here, though, no good. Remember, she was 8 of 10 entering today, so not too many attempts, but a good success, but she misses that one. Second free throw for Von Rumer. That one is no good as well. Out of bounds. Oh, it's going to stay with Colby. That just keeps happening. Belacqua is back in for James with those 4 fouls. What a game for Belacqua. Ibenebu inbounds. Ibenebu, nowhere to go with it. Able to get it into Olenek. Or pardon me, that's Hartley. Olenek is on the near side. This is Cho. Now here's Olenek. Oh, and it's stolen by Lambo. Spolter on the move. Across the timeline. Spolter directing traffic over to Lambo. Lambo fighting off Ibenebu. Right wing for Hicks. Hicks looking for some options here. 50 on the shot clock. Hicks to the elbow. Outside for Spolter. Spolter off a screen. Spolter driving. Spolter kicks. Lambo driving with 4 on the shot clock. Lambo got to get a shot off, but she stepped out of bounds instead. It'll be Colby ball with 4:13 to go. Bates by 13, 51-38. So Ibenebu brings it up for the Mules. Dribbles over to the left wing. Over to Hartley. Outside for Cho. Cho off a screen. Picked up by Belacqua. Cho over to Hartley. Hartley against Delario. Hartley attacking off the window. Hartley's a good player. The sophomore When she stays out of foul trouble, she can really be tough. We have a whistle here, and Allison Montgomery wants a timeout with 3:41 left, and Bates up 51-40 over the Mules. I mentioned that Colby is a very good defensive team. Those 61 points that Bates scored earlier this season, yep, they still are the most that Colby has allowed this year in a game. In terms of their offense, again, their offense is a little bit more inconsistent, I suppose. They've had some low-scoring games. Bowdoin held them to 42 in a 53-42 game. This game will be a little bit higher scoring than that. But yeah, they held Bowdoin to 53 points. That's pretty impressive for Colby, even though they lost that game by 11 at Bowdoin. They had a game against Springfield where they only scored 39. So this won't be their lowest output of the year, but it's one of their lower outputs after they had 4 straight games where their offense was in the 60s, right? 63-48 over MIT, 64-43 over Connecticut College, 67-64 at Tufts, and 61-47 over Hudson. But today, only with 40 points so far for the Mules. Meanwhile, if you flip that around, again, the Bobcats are well under their season average, obviously. Number 1 scoring team. They won a game earlier this year, 49-42 against Emmanuel. That was their lowest scoring win. They're going to obviously have already scored more than 49 in this game. And they have the ball here up 51-40. Here is Sophie Spolter over to Hicks. Hicks to the baseline. Delario at the elbow, short, and Hicks almost had it, but Hartley ends up with it. Bounces over to Olenek. Bates by 11, 3:22 left. Olenek driving. Olenek backs it out. Kate Olenek. Colby's undisputed star on offense. Looking to drive. Splits the D and lays it in. That is what she can do. 51-42. Bobcats trying to hang on. 2:57 left. Spolter down low for Delario. Turnaround jumper. Front iron. I thought she got bumped, but there was no whistle. Ibenebu called timeout, I guess. Or was there a foul? No, it was a foul. Balakwa. I wasn't sure if they had called there, but they called a foul on Balakwa. Well, the lead is only 9. The clock needs to start moving. Clock, thank you, 2:45 left. There was about 2 seconds there where nothing ran off the clock, but anyway, hopefully that won't matter. Here's Ibenebu over to Cho. Outside for Hartley, yes. Here comes Colby, it's a 7-point game. 2:25 left. Bates needs an answer. 51-44. Hicks in the near corner, Balakwa. Who's going to step up big down the stretch? Someone's got to step up. They need to score. They can't just let the clock run out. This was a problem against both Hamilton and Amherst. They ended up winning both games, but boy, they made it a lot harder than it should have been. Spolter from 15. No. Rebound. Colby. Cho has it. Ahead for Olenek. Someone's got to stop Olenek. That's hard to do. Layup no good, though. Rebound, Lambo. Now Bates can kill some clock, but they need to score. Only up 7. Minute 45. They led by as many as 13. Spolter. Right wing for Hicks. Balakwa again. Not this time. Rebound. Olenek in a held ball, and the arrow favors Colby with a minute 31 left. Now, if you're Colby, you're down by 3 possessions here with a minute 31 remaining. Do you try to make your first 3? I remember a few years ago, Anna von Rumer made a huge 3 against the Bobcats late in the game that Colby won. But they have not made a 3 yet this year against Bates. Ibenebu, where are the points going to come from besides Olenek? Here is Cho to the elbow. There's Hartley again. It looks like it might be Hartley. Hartley has 8, and Colby is within 5. I mean, the clock might run out on them, but Bates just can't risk it. They've got to score, and they haven't scored. They haven't had a field goal in about about 4 minutes here. Will be Delario outside for Lambo. They're going to run the clock down some more, but again, they're only up by 5. They need a bucket. Spolter fouled, but Colby has fouls to give. That's only their second team foul. 44.8 seconds left. Second on Hartley. Ava James going to come in for Balakwa. Their last field goal was with 5:14 left in this quarter. Elsa Delario. They haven't scored since. It's 44.8 seconds remaining. They were up 51-38. It has been an 8-0 run from Colby to make it 51-46. So that 51-38 lead has been cut by 8, down to 5. Colby has never led in this game, but they're not making it easy for the Bobcats. Colby having an excellent fourth quarter, shooting 6 of 10 from the floor this quarter. They've outscored Bates 13-9 in the quarter. The fourth quarter, the voting game was pretty much over by then, unfortunately. But the fourth quarter in that Amherst and Hamilton game, both those games, Bates did not really finish the game like they'd want to. They won the game, but they let the game, two teams hang around. That's happening again here. See if they can hang on. Still a two-possession game with 44.8 seconds left. They got to get this inbounds pass, though. They do to Delario. They have 20 seconds to work with on the shot clock. And a little foul on Olenek here. Colby can do that one more time before it would be 2 free throws for Bates. And then at that point, you would not want to foul Spolter if you're the Mules. Lydia Mardarski is back in for Colby. She's going to come in for Olenek because that's 4 personals on Olenek, so they don't want Olenek picking up a 5th foul here. So she'll check out. Hicks to inbounds, gets it in for Spolter. And she'll get fouled by Mardarski with 39 seconds left.
Colby foul number 21, Lydia Mardarski. That's her second, team's 4th of the quarter.
It was the 4th team foul, yeah, not the 5th. They had one more to give. Next time, though, it will be 2 free throws for Bates. And if you're Colby, you'll have to be careful about who you foul. Well, they're just going to foul Spolter. So they're going to make Sophie Spolter win at the line for the Bobcats. She did last time in Waterville. She's 3 of 4 from the line today, over 90% on the year, 9 points on the afternoon. And Kate Olenek will come back in for offense after Spolter shoots these free throws. And now Von Rumer is back in for Thompson. And the senior out of Blacklick, Ohio, Sophie Spolter at the line. Yes, nothing but net. Spolter has 10. 4 of 5 from the line today. One more for the senior. It's good. It's a 3-possession lead for Bates. Those are 2 huge free throws from Sophie Spolter. Is up to 5 of 6 today from the free throw line. She is at over 91% entering this game. She was 42 of 46. She had a rare miss earlier, but 5 of 6 here, 11 points now. Remember, she was 10 of 10 the last time they played Colby. So give her 15 of 16 at the line against Colby this season. 38 seconds left. Bates able to push it back to a 7-point lead. And that's huge because Colby has not shown, and they still could make one, but they just haven't made one yet. They're 0 of 8 today from 3-point range. Bates has not been to the line nearly as much as Colby today, but they've taken advantage of their opportunities, right? So Bates is 10 of 12 from the line, and Colby's 10 of 20. So they've each made 10 free throws, but Bates has been much more efficient in that category, and Bates has the 5 made threes and 15 attempts, 33%, while Colby 0 of 8 in this game. Elsa Delario leads all scorers with 16 points on 7 of 17 shooting, 5 rebounds. But how about Gabby Balakwa off the bench for the Bobcats? 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Ava James, 10 points. Sophie Spolter, 11 points. Blocked a huge game earlier this year against Husson, but this is much different than Husson. And another good game for her. Olenek gets it in as we wind this one down. Olenek to the elbow, over to Hartley, who's been outstanding. But this time, Delario blocks the shot, and Spolter is fouled with 28.9 seconds to go. Belacqua was quiet against Bowdoin. Did not score in that game. Only had 1 point against Hamilton. She's been a little bit cool since she's 0 for her last 9 actually from the field entering this game after a nice game against Amherst when she had 10 points. Her career high 16 earlier this year against Husson. 8 points, 3 of 5 shooting here. Spolter, missed. A very rare miss for Spolter. But it's still a 3-possession lead right now at 7 points. And that's if you make 2 threes. Makes that one. Bates by 8. With 28.9 seconds to go. Another timeout. Colby going to try to stretch this game out as long as they can. But at this point, it would require some sort of crazy sequence. I don't know if there's a route here for Colby to get back in it with 8 points down with 28.9 seconds left. Spolter able to drain another free throw, get her to 12 points in this one. Olenek got 13 points, 5 of 14 though, so they kept her in check, relatively speaking. She does have 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Hanscom, good game for her. 12 points on 6 of 9 shooting and 5 rebounds. And how about Hartley for Colby? They're a good player off the bench for them, sophomore. 8 points, 4 of 6 shooting. She did have those 4 missed free throws, but besides that, really good. Olenek will inbound to the near side with 28.9 seconds left. Gets in for Ibanebu. Ibanebu directing traffic with 25 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Ibanebu drives outside for Cho. And that's a foul on Spolter, who was hoping to take another charge, but this time a foul is called on Sophie Spolter. It was not a shooting foul. Or let's see, I have 4 team fouls for Bates. Or we have 4 team fouls for Bates, and it was not a shooting foul. So, Colby will simply inbound from the baseline. Olenek will inbounds for the Mules. And Olenek, timeout, Colby, with 20.7 seconds left. So, avoid a 5-second call there. A call a timeout. With Bates up by 8, 20.7 seconds remaining. A big third quarter kind of has been the difference, right? They were outscored them 19-11 in that third quarter, and they lead by 8. So there you go, right? Outscore them by 8 in the third, and that kind of has made the literal difference. 54-46, Bobcats with 20.7 seconds to go. By the way, I should correct myself earlier. Those 61 points Bates scored are not the most allowed by Colby. Tough scored 64, but they actually lost the game to Colby 67-64. So just a correction there. All right, Cho will inbounds. Gets in for Olenek with 20 seconds left. Olenek a runner, and she gets the roll with 16.3 seconds left. Asa Montgomery will call a timeout with Bates up by 6. So it's a 2-possession game with 16.3 seconds remaining. And the Bobcats leading 54-48. Olenek another bucket. She's got 15 points, right at her season average of 15.8 points per game. She normally shoots about 46%, 6 of 15 in this one. Remember, the first time these two teams played, also that 61-50 win, Olenek got injured. She didn't play, really. She got hurt right at the beginning of the game, and so this is the first time she's been on the team, been active, really, against Bates this year. Bates beat him by 11, but that was when Colby did not have Olenek for basically the entire game. This time they've had her. Bates has done a pretty solid job. Hicks to inbounds. Oh, boy. It's going to stay with Bates, but barely. Poked away from Lily Lambeau, but Bates will maintain possession. But that's the one thing you really can't do. You cannot turn it over on the inbounds pass. You got to make Colby foul you. Hicks to inbounds. Another play by Colby. And Olenek saying, did you just call a foul on me? And they did. And Olenek has fouled out with 16 seconds left. And so Sophie Spolter will go to the line for 2. So Olenek fouls out with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Spolter, who has 12 points, 6 of 8 from the line today, at the line here for 2. She can just make one of these. That would be pretty huge for the Bobcats. Obviously, Spolter is a great free throw shooter, and she makes that one. Give her 7 of 9 now, 13 points. And Spolter, 8 of 10. 8 of 10 for most people is a great night. For Spolter, it actually makes her free throw percentage go down. She's at 91%, but those are huge free throws. 56-48 with 16 seconds left. And that makes it it's still a 3-possession game if you make 3 threes, but Colby has not made a 3. But they pretty much have to shoot them now, because if you only go for 2s, it's a 4-possession game. There's 16 seconds left. You look at some of the stats today. Colby's actually shot better overall than the Bobcats, 36.5% to 32.8%. But again, Bates has made 5 threes, which is that'll get the job done. And Bates has made 3 more free throws and 4 fewer attempts. Bates has been out-rebounded, kind of a rarity this year for the Bobcats. Turnovers have favored Bates. 14 turnovers for Colby, 8 for Bates. Bates with 7 points off turnovers, 7 points off turnovers for Colby. So Colby will advance the ball here, and Cho will inbounds from the near side for the Mules. Gets in for Ibanebu, 15 seconds left. Ibanebu over to Mordarski. Mordarski out to Ibanebu. That's taking way too much time for Colby, although Ibanebu able to draw a foul. 6.8 seconds left. And Ibanebu, who's been to the line a lot today, will go to the line again. She's got 7 points, 1 of 5 on the floor, but 5 of 8 shooting. Third personal on Delario. Delario, remember, had 2 fouls in the first half. That's her first foul of the second half. And the free throw for Ibanebu is up. It is good. Bates by 7 with 6.8 seconds remaining. That one's good. Bates by 6, 6.8 seconds left. Hicks to inbound, gets it in for Spolter, and they will foul Spolter again. Which, Bates has done a great job getting the ball to Spolter, right? Because if you're Colby, you'd really prefer to foul anyone but Sophie Spolter. But Bates has done a great job getting the ball to Spolter, so they don't have a choice. They have to foul Spolter, who's 8 of 10 from the line, and is back to the line again for 2 more. 5.8 seconds left. This is actually a little surprising. She's missed 4 times all year and has missed 3 times today, but still 8 of 11. It's a pretty good day for anyone else. The second free throw is good. And the Bobcats lead 57-50. 5.8 seconds left. Ibanebu ahead for Hanscom, who drives, who shoots, and that will count. So your final score is going to be 57-52. The Bobcats win by 5 over the Mules. And with the victory, Bates improves their record to 14-2 on the year, and they are 3-1 in NESCAC play. And the Mules are 10-5 and 2-1 in NESCAC play. So Bates will have a tiebreaker, and they hand Colby their first NESCAC loss of the season. They had to grind it out per usual, but their final score again is Bates 57, Colby 52 on this Sunday afternoon. And the Bobcats will do their usual chant before we try to get Gabby Balakwa up here for a post-game interview. Balakwa, the sophomore, a big game for her. Balakwa will join us for the post-game interview here at Alumni Gym. Here you go. All right, Gabby, what a big game for you off the bench and a couple huge threes.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what was working for you coming off the bench and being a big impact player today.
I mean, I missed a couple shots first half. Coach looked at me and said, you work so hard, like finish. And I came off ready to go and just been getting a lot of shots up with teammates, so it paid off, yeah.
this Colby game is always so tough, right? It's a defensive battle. Tell me about, how the team was able to get this victory over the Mules, a team that, has challenged you in the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, coming off the Bowdoin game, we struggled defensively, and that was one of our main takeaways to focus on in this game was defensive chemistry, and we've really worked well together today, so it's good.
Excellent. Yeah, you mentioned the Bowdoin game. Obviously, you have one day between the Bowdoin game and now. How do you kind of reset and refocus and get this win like this?
Honestly, it's the best to have that quick turnaround, just to respond in a positive way and prove ourselves today that we are the team that we think we are. Yeah.
And so, tell me a little bit about you're a sophomore. Your rookie season last year. What did you kind of learn about college basketball that year that you've applied to this season, kind of?
The pace is a big change from high school, and coming off from last year to this year, really focusing on my offense and being quicker on the court has been a big focus for me. Yeah.
Great. Well, any other thoughts you wanted to share about this big win for the Bobcats here today? Now 3-1 in NESCAC.
Yeah. Yep.
Any other thoughts you wanted to share?
No, that's it.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Gabby, congratulations. Great performance. Thanks for joining us on the
Thank
postgame.
you.
All right. Gabby Balakwa with 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from three-point range. Some big threes hit by Balakwa today is allowing the Bobcats to pull away a bit, especially in that third quarter. She also had 3 rebounds in this one for Bates. Bobcats win it 57-52. They, again, improve their record to 14-2, and they are 3-1 in NESCAC play. Their next game is this Wednesday. The Bobcats will host the University of Maine at Farmington this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So we'll have that broadcast for you here at Alumni Gymnasium. A couple of non-conference games coming up for Bates. Their next NESCAC game is not till January 30th when they'll go to Williams and then Middlebury on that Sunday, the February 1st. So they'll have the home game this Wednesday at 7. Tune in for that. The Bobcats are 14-2, 3-1 in NESCAC. They defeat Colby again by a final score of 57-52. My name is Aaron Morris. Have a great rest of